As I get in the fat, I whining. Up in front and balancing. Grab a fag in a waving. Hey, my people, them chanting. Cartoons, carnival, sweet soca, Zulu fete, soaking wet, carnival, yeah. Jump up and wave, eh. It can't miss me, not this party. I will be there, tell them from me. Can't miss me, start the walking up. Now miss me, wine and broke up. Summertime it is bacchanal, we ready to get on bad. Spread your hands and wine, let go and free your mind. Come take a jump and celebrate, we living our life today. Put your hands in the air, start the jumping. Can't miss me, not this party. I will be there, tell them.
Self-proclaimed king of New York is out of jail. Tekashi 69 is out. He got a little bit of an early release due to the whole coronavirus thing, and we all know he ratted, snitch, whatever you want to call it. So so Tekashi is out, and he had no problem letting everyone know that he was out. So he pretty much let everyone know he was going live, and you had a lot of people excited about this. On the other hand, you had other people who weren't really here for it due to the fact that, hey, this is a rat, a snitch, out, and now he's going on live. We really don't want to hear what you have to say. But the point of the matter is, people are going to tune in because he's a hot topic. And then you have people like Meek Mill, Yuck Mouth, Meek Mill. Something about Meek Mill just throws me off. But yeah, Meek Mill tweeted about it. You know, he had a problem with Tekashi being a whole snitch and everything like that. So Meek went ahead and tweeted about it, and that started the whole train of events. Meek Mill goes, I hope that rat going live to apologize to the people he told on or the victim. Y'all forgot that fast a rat killed Nipsey. He wasn't supposed to be on the streets. That's the only thing I'm a day, I guess he meant say, but yikes, Meek is kind of illiterate. Anyway, because he's dead. Left his baby mom and child like a coward. So here he goes throwing jabs. And honestly, it's really not that deep to Meek. But once again, all publicity is good publicity to these people. So you have to kind of look at it from that angle. He's just trying to get his name back in the streets. And you know, Meek is supposed to be so street, even though he spends half the time worried about shit he shouldn't even be concerned about. Either way, that did not stop Tekashi, and he went on live. And what we're going to do is jump into this live because he said a lot of exposing type things in this live, and I just want to break it down really quickly.
He's a rat. He's a rat. To be like, yo, he ratted. To then a rat like me to come home and still do more numbers than you, I would be mad too. I would be mad too. If a rat came home and did more numbers than me, I would be mad too. I would. I promise you I would be mad. If a rat came home, give my old jewelry back to get new jewelry. This is $500,000. $500,000. Look at the diamonds in them teeth. And nobody got this watch. Well, I think like 2 people got it. But if you don't got this watch, we can't beef. Me and you are not in the same bracket at all. If you don't got this watch right here, this watch right here, this watch, over $500,000, why we can't beef? I broke the YouTube. I'm at 5 million views in 1 hour. Y'all can't even get 100,000.
Blah. Basically, he's saying a lot of irrelevant shit in this particular part. However, it was necessary because if you pay attention to the comments, you could see that there's a lot of verified comments there, which means he was grabbing the attention of his peers, quote-unquote celebs. Also, if you pay attention to the numbers of views, you would see that he actually caught a lot of attention, breaking the record. So he was actually right. He was highly anticipated, whether people liked it or not. So let's get to the next part of the live.
Look, listen, I'm a rainbow Mexican hair kid. I rap. I'm not about that gang shit, but listen, I know how to get us out.
Huh? Yes, you heard right. He basically admitted to not being gang affiliated, that he was just using the person who was gang affiliated, and he had a plan to get them out, and this is what that plan was going to be. I'll tell you a bit more about this later.
You wasn't loyal to me, whether, but y'all understand. Let's just, y'all understand, and I know you understand. Y'all don't want to understand. All right. Let me tell you, before I got locked up, right? Before I got locked up, fuck that rainbow hair nigga. Fuck Tekashi Snout. Fuck him. Fuck that rainbow hair kid. Fuck him. Fuck that rainbow hair kid. Y'all didn't really have a reason to dislike me. Just
So
because
this is actually more popular than you might realize. A lot of times these celebrities, they link up with the right people to get into the right spots. And what that means is there would be regular everyday people who are getting into the spotlight, but they need a little bit more street cred. And what happens is they link up with particular groups, particular gangs who would offer them protection, offer them street cred in order for them to kind of work in a way that supplies the streets. And by supplying, quote unquote, the streets, they would give back to these members. They would have these members as a part of their entourage. They would spend money on these members. You would see a lot of celebrities with a bunch of entourage, a bunch of people around them that don't actually do shit, don't really have much talent, but they're a part of the group. And that's kind of how they do it. This also helps them to be safe when they go to specific spots, and it works for rappers, because if you're wanting to be taken seriously as a rapper, you have to have that image of a more street kind of image. And what happens is a lot of these celebrities link up with the right people, so when they start talking reckless, it's because they have a team behind them. Oftentimes this backfires, and you see people like Soulja Boy getting exposed, because when they get too big or too comfortable, the gang members remind them who they are. So sometimes you would see certain rappers getting their chains taken. That doesn't just randomly happen. It's because it's a way of kind of stamping their respect. And when I say there, I'm talking about the gang members. So even though they're not in the spotlight, they do have a lot of impact on these particular artists. So this is actually very popular, and so that's why I don't pay much attention to a lot of these rappers saying a lot of shit, because a lot of them fall under this same bracket. If you're looking for rappers who really earn that street cred, who actually come from the streets, that's more so seen in like Chicago and Chicago kind of Chirac kind of rappers who actually put in work and are then respected. But anyway, let's get to the next clip.
So-called is loyalty and everything, and no snitching and all of that. I get it, right? But where was the loyalty when you was sleeping with my baby mother? Where was the loyalty when you was caught on the wiretap trying to kill me? Where was the loyalty when you tried to kidnap my mother? Where was the loyalty when you was stealing millions of dollars from me? Where was that? So who broke it first? All right, I get it. Don't fight fire with fire. I'm sorry. But what did I do wrong? Be loyal to niggas that's fucking my baby moms? Be loyal to niggas that kidnap me? Beat the shit out of me on video and everything? I'm supposed to be loyal to that? No, you know what? You know what it is? Y'all don't want to accept the fact that those is all true facts.
If you
Y'all
weren't
don't wanna-
aware, Tekashi was actually at one point kidnapped by the same people who were supposed to be his quote-unquote boys, his quote-unquote gang. And there was actually footage, not clear footage, but still footage of everything going down. I'm still shocked at this point that they were even able to get some footage, which makes me think he was always a part of the FBI to begin with. Anyway, and the reason why I say that is because it just so happens that the person, I think the Uber or whatever he was in, that person knew to call the police, so forth and so on. Anyway, but there is footage of that. I'm going to insert that footage right here, just in case you weren't able to catch it. Here it goes.
All right, he's on the
They
line
just
with us.
kidnapped 6ix9ine.
Robert.
Tekashi 6ix9ine. They just kidnapped from my car.
I don't understand. What?
Tekashi 6ix9ine. You know Tekashi 6ix9ine, the rapper, the singer. Yeah, they just kidnapped it. We get pulled over, right, by two guys with guns, and they just take it off from the car.
You take him?
Yes.
Where this happen?
Just right here, around the corner. I tried to keep going, but they when I go away.
So why ain't got your number?
Because I asked for your number. They changed your number. I put it on my daughter's life, bro.
Bugging those, son.
Oh, you know I gave him
Bugging,
25K.
son.
I always did right by you.
Yeah, but why you do me like that, bro?
I always put money in your pocket, bro. I'm shit, bro. I don't know. They just be like, yo, extortionist.
Where the fuck is everything, man?
I'm on the cover.
Get in the car with us, man. Bye, nigga. Bye. What's the phone? Give me the phone. Get out of here.
You gonna talk to him. You gonna talk to him. You gonna talk to him. Go ahead. Get in the car. Get in the car. Get in the car.
So another thing he touched on was the fact that they were smashing his baby mother. And I'm thinking, well, if you think that this is the case, why are you still with these people? But then again, he wasn't about that life, so what was he going to do anyway? But it just shows the disconnect between the quote-unquote friendship. They weren't loyal to him, he wasn't loyal to them. It was really a business transaction. However, his baby mother actually did an interview with Vlad, and she gives her side of this story. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at her point.
He accuses you of some sort of relationship with Shadi?
Yeah, he did.
Okay. Is there any truth in that at all?
No, that's ridiculous. The thing that I find so funny now is that Dubai happened in October, right? He had these accusations in October. So this isn't nothing new that he's already felt. And when he beat my ass in Dubai, he's basically, after 2 hours, told me, I know you didn't do nothing, but I can't have you out here making me look stupid. So he just beat my ass, not because he believed it, but because I made him look stupid because of what other people were saying.
Okay. And how badly did he beat you?
Extremely bad. I've never had nobody ever touch me like that. Ever.
This is pretty telling of the relationship he had with these men. They didn't trust him. He didn't trust them. He didn't even trust them around his baby mother. And the thing about it is, the guy in question that he was saying was smashing his baby mother is one of the men that he was closest to. So that's a pretty much telling. But looking into the interview a little bit more, she actually mentioned him ripping her, or allegedly ripping her, trying to rip her, which is pretty interesting, the way he seemed to have taken all the anger that he had built up against these men out on her. So let's take a look.
After that, he didn't let me leave the room. So I had fell asleep, and the following morning he woke up and forced me to have sex with him, yeah.
So yeah, I don't really buy into the whole girlfriend smashing is the reason why. Maybe the way he looked at it, you guys screw me over, so basically I'm screwing you over. Or somewhere along the line he could have already been an informant, just to be honest, or someone who was planted. Anyway, so after all of this, 6ix9ine started to promote some music, because obviously that's the name of the game. Soon as he came out, of course, the label and everyone backing him is going to make sure that they strike while it's hot and get the music back out there. So he dropped his first piece of music since the release, and here's a short clip. So as you can see, the song is typical 6ix9ine, nothing really different, not really saying a whole lot, but he's pretty much stunting. And he did a lot of taunting in this song, kind of just, you know, letting everyone know he's back and a rat is out type thing. So this really didn't go well with some. At this point, I'm surprised that anyone is shocked that this is the angle he took. What else was he supposed to do? He went in being a troll. Of course, he's going to come out being a troll. But Miss Snoop Dogg, who puts his throat mouth in everything, had a few words to say about this. And this started a whole nother wave of beef. To be quite honest, Snoop Dogg was saying a whole bunch of nothing, just calling him a rat, asking how people are letting, you know, basically the rats go mainstream, so forth and so on. But the funny thing about it is he has always shown that he was a troll. So if you had this big of a problem, you should have said it back then. But this also caused Tekashi to strike back, calling Snoop a rat. And I saw an interview on Controversy Radio, and they were really kind of exposing him. So take a look at this.
I don't know what they did. I don't know if they ever interviewed him behind that. But he told it to some sheriffs.
LAPD Detective Russell Poole.
Sheriffs send it to LAPD Robbery Homicide
Reggie, do
Division.
you know what you're saying?
What I'm saying?
I'm just thinking about what you're saying.
That
Snoop. I wouldn't put that jacket on him.
He snitched.
He
snitched. That nigga tried to say that Suge Knight is the one that murdered Tupac. He told the cops that.
In what is among
if you were to do any kind of research surrounding Tupac and that whole era and everything like that, you would find a lot of disturbing kind of information surrounding Snoop. So the funny thing is, when you kind of get yourself involved in stuff that has nothing to do with you, it kind of makes you look a little bit suspicious. The point of the matter is, rappers have been backing Tekashi for the longest. Well, you saw 50 Cent around Tekashi. You seen Tekashi fighting. Well, you saw niggas around Tekashi fighting, protecting this little Mexican kid. And he has always been someone to use the people around him for protection and clown other people, starting a whole set of beefs. He got his friends set up. If you look into the documents, you would see that he even tried to get Chief Keef, another rapper, taken out. And so, yeah, this is nothing new. The reason why Snoop spoke on this is pretty much not making any sense, because we all know what this is. And the fact of the matter is, if Tekashi exposed his closest friend and the people around him that did a lot worse than Snoop, it's only obvious that he's going to come for Snoop as well. Nothing is going to stop him. So at this point, there's still this little beef going on where Tekashi is making it his mission to pretty much go ahead and expose Snoop. And I feel like this is a situation that Snoop kind of caused on himself. He could have kept out of it. Anyway, Tekashi's still promoting music. He has some kind of journey to take over Instagram, which is not odd since a lot of people can't do a lot of touring and he pretty much can't do shit. So this is the angle that his marketing team is going to go ahead and take. But let's get on to the ladies who took over the charts and a little bit of shade behind it as well. So pretty much you have Doja Cat, who partnered up with Nicki Minaj, and you have Megan Thee Stallion, who partnered up with Beyoncé, and they came first and second, number 1 and 2 on the charts. Now, Megan was already hot on her way up, on her way to stardom with the whole hot girl movement. She even did a collab with Nicki Minaj, and she decided to partner up with Beyonce. This is nothing new. This is nothing strange. They did a remix to Savage. Take a little listen. I actually liked the song before, but with the remix, I kind of like the remix more. I don't know if that's biased to Beyonce, but for me, it just added something, and I felt like Beyonce was able to smooth it out and add a little bit of class to it. And then we have Doja Cat, who I really didn't pay a lot of attention to when she had the whole Bitch I'm a Cow song. It really wasn't my thing. However, after watching her for a little while, I realized this girl is talented. She's just creative in a different way, and maybe it's something that the game needed. And she had a huge admiration for Nicki Minaj, and they had reached out to Nicki Minaj to get her on the remix, which I felt was amazing. If you like someone and you can get them on your music, that is great. So therefore, Doja and Nicki Minaj came out on top. This is not shocking. They just had a cool vibe. Say So was already on the way up, and Nicki Minaj has a strong fan base behind her. So yeah, this should have been a great movement until people started to break down this particular verse.
With the least, always doing the most. I count money while he's sucking my toes. Real nasty with them balls. All net, yeah, I'm gross.
While you talking about who body fake, with rolling fillers in your face, you just
So
full of hate.
I don't agree with this at all. Nicki Minaj is a lyricist. If she had any kind of beef with Beyonce, I don't think she would make a verse referencing coins because Beyonce has more coins. She wouldn't make a verse referencing any kind of plastic surgery because Beyonce is not known for plastic surgery. So that really doesn't make any sense to me. However, I know that with that number one, it would definitely cause some kind of friction between the two fan bases, and I feel like this is a reach by the Beehive. However, there are some things that came off a little bit shady to me, and it started with the actual promotion. I feel like Nicki Minaj and Doja did a lot more promotion for their work. I feel like they put a lot more in. You see Nicki Minaj mentioning everything. You see Doja pushing her TikTok and the dance moves for the actual song kind of went viral. Sorry. And then you see the Barbs actually really pushing and promoting this, and even Doja was
Oh my
out
God,
there, kind of thanking the Barbs because she realized that the Barbs went above and beyond.
Holy shit. I've never in my life seen anything like that, ever. As far as fan support, I don't spend too much time, looking. I've spent more time recently on Twitter and things like that.
And say what you want about the Barbs. The Barbs are known for promoting Nicki's music, even her collabs, like her collab with Meg. The thing about the Barbs is the fact that Nicki Minaj has never really had that strong of a team promoting her the way the Barbs have done. And the Barbs have an understanding of the music industry in terms of actually promoting music, actually streaming and stuff like that. So if you ever pay attention to the Barbs, they do a lot of streaming parties. They try to get certain songs back on the charts. They try to bring the views up on certain videos. So they're kind of like the marketing team for Nicki Minaj, and I think that's why she's so close to them. And then you see Meg, on the other hand, also trying to promote, even offering to drop a music video for one of her other songs, doing whatever she could to get the song to number one. However, the Queen Bee wasn't really doing much of anything. She just didn't have time, and maybe that's because, hey, she's Beyonce. She doesn't necessarily have to go above and beyond because she is already on the track. But that was a little bit shitty for me because Meg is out here working. You see Nicki and Doja out here working, but you don't see Beyonce doing that much, and Beyonce could actually do a whole lot more. Could you imagine Beyonce doing like a TikTok video to this song? That could have actually went number one. So that's the first sign of shade for me. Not going to do is act as though Beyonce hasn't been active lately. We see her promoting Lizzo for her birthday. Also promoting Halle and Chloe. So she was very active. Another thing that really sparked the shade, I believe, is the amount of promotion and the amount of praise Nicki was getting. She was breaking records. All of the blogs, Pop Base, we see Pop Crave, The Shade Room, all of these articles were highlighting the fact that Nicki was breaking records. She had her number one that was long awaited. So the thing of the matter is, I feel like this struck a chord with Beyonce and her team. We even see some blogs being shady, showing the fact that Nicki Minaj would have taken over Savage. And yeah, so I feel like this really showed Beyonce that, well, Nicki Minaj and Doja is getting the praise. Once again, this is another tug at the Holy Trinity, Beyonce, Rihanna, and Nicki Minaj. And this appears to be another downfall, but we'll get into that later. Congratulations to the girls again, and let's get into this girl. So once again, Lil Boosie badass, is back talking about shit that does not concern him. I don't understand for the life of me how a so-called straight man could be so concerned with everything that is gay, everything that happens in the rainbow community. I do not understand. But every time you hear about Lil Boosie, you hear about him referencing something that's gay. So his last what should I say, his last big thing on the internet was him actually saying that he allowed a grown woman to molest his son. Now, he didn't say it in those words, but he basically said that he allowed a woman to perform fellatio on his sons and his nephews and stuff like that. No, it caused a big debate because for him, this seemed to be a rite of passage, you know, something that OGs pass on to younger kids and our younger sons, something that he was very much proud of. To me, is a very kind of sick thing, but I really want to dive into how sick this man really is and to kind of go ahead and expose him for who he really is. Because if you did not know, this is a butch queen. All right? And he hides it in the fact that he's over sexualizing everything, but if you actually pay some attention to the things that he says, you would definitely see it. And so what we're gonna do is kind of break down the life and just kind of take out some stuff from it and kind of go over it. No, we're not watching the entire live because I can't stand to see his leptospirocious looking ass with all that white shit caked up in the corners of his mouth and coal literally in his eyes. This man looks nasty. Just disgusting, but we're gonna get into this really quickly.
You fucking right. Yes, a grown woman. Grown, super grown. Super grown. Checked his ass out. Checked all my nephews out. Super grown. Is she grown? She checked me out. I know what the fuck she did to them. She checked me out, that bitch. I'm getting them prepared, man. I got that bitch sucked early. Yeah, all my nephews. Ask any one of my nephews or ask any one of my nephews or my son who got them they first head. Big dog. Yeah, ask any of my nephews who got them they first head. Big dog. Yeah. I been got my son dick.
Well, I really don't want to take too much time up on this, but we're going to go through it step by step. So the first step here, we see Boosie literally saying that he allowed a woman to molest his son and other family members, like other nephews and stuff like that. My whole thing about it is, if this was a girl child he was speaking of and he allowed a man to come there and perform any kind of sexual act on her, what would be the repercussion of that? Everyone would pretty much go off. We would be calling the authorities. It would be a big thing, and that just goes to show how we raise our kids or our sons to think that sex is just something that you should be doing and there's nothing behind it, no kind of passion, no kind of value for yourself. And we have a predator who is way too interested in a son's or a nephew's sexual circumstances, because at that age it really isn't your business and it's nothing that they should be even thinking about. And even if there are, I'm sure that they're not coming to him. But he took it upon himself to kind of explore this and force this upon these boys. The thing of the matter is, sometimes these things could have a negative impact on the kids. Not saying that the child might not be here for it or might not enjoy it, because You know, sometimes kids might get into certain stuff. Some people mature faster than others, but sometimes it leaves lasting effects. Some men then are detached. They don't have relationships when they're with certain women. They don't see beyond sex because you're not promoting relationships. You're not promoting them actually having some kind of genuine vibe. What you're promoting is just sex, and you are actually hosting a kind of molestation ring, if you will, to actually allow a grown woman who needs to be locked up as well to come and pretty much molest these boys. You might not think it's molestation, but the fact of the matter is, if these boys are underage and this is a grown woman according to him, then it is indeed molestation. So let's get to the next step after we pretty much close that part, so we already see what he's doing.
Yeah, we raise our children different. You tell your children, take her to the movies, son. I tell my child, fuck her, son. Fuck the shit out of her fine ass, son. We raise our children different. You heard me? It's just different children. You might take your 16-year-old and her boyfriend to the movie. He jump in the Jag and take his own bitch. It's different. You bring your juvenile daughter around here, she might get fucked. Sorry, I gotta keep it real. My son trained to fuck. He watch daddy, they trained to fuck.
So if you pay attention to what he's saying exactly, you would see that he is almost living vicariously through his kids and his nephews. Talking about, if you bring her here, she's gonna get fucked. My son is trained to fuck. Your little fine ass daughter, your juvenile daughter. If you look at the way he's speaking on this child, the thing of the matter is, as a parent, if you were to send your juvenile daughter to this grown man's house to maybe spend time with the son or what have you, his intention as a parent is not to host the kids at the house. His intention is to get your daughter fucked. Your fine ass daughter fucked. Your juvenile daughter fucked. So here you're actually seeing his mindset. It's as though he's living through this whole process.
Yeah, it's better than watching cartoons with two men kissing. It's better than watching TV with two men kissing. It's better than watching cartoons. It's better than watching cartoons with all this gay shit on there. Yeah, I'm getting on my iPhone. They can put in Pornhub, XXN, anything they fucking want. Yeah.
Once again, he's fixated on the whole gay thing and gay things in cartoons. So you don't want your child watching a cartoon with two men kissing, but you would have his dick sucked by a grown woman. Then you bought him iPhones, or you bought them iPhone 11s so that they could go and watch porn, as though porn sites doesn't have categories where they could click gay. As though when you get on a porn site and you look at the home page, it's random. So you could stumble upon more than men kissing. You could see them actually fucking. So I don't know where he was going with this, but then again, he is not the brightest bulb in the shed. Anyway, let's continue.
Yeah, it's like that. Saying everybody raise their children different. Don't talk about how I raised mine. Everybody raise their children different. That's just how I raised mine.
So wait, everybody raises their kids different. That's just how you raise yours. Did we forget that you tried to tell Dwayne Wade how to raise his kid? Okay, let's take a look. Because he was so passionate about someone else's child, but here he is talking about he raised his kids how he see fit.
I gotta say something about this shit, bro. Dwayne Wade, you gone too fucking far, dog. That is a male. a 12-year-old. At 12, they don't even know what their next meal gonna be. They don't have shit figured out yet. He might meet a woman, anything, at 16 and fall in love with her. But his dick be gone. How you gonna... Like, bro, you going too far, dog. Don't cut his dick off, bro. Like, bro, for real. If he gonna be gay, let him be gay. But don't cut his dick off, bro. Like, don't address him as a woman, dog. He's 12 years old. He's not up there yet. He hasn't made his final decisions yet. Don't cut his fucking dick off, Dwayne Wade, bro. You fucking tripping, dog. You
So
tripping,
why
dog.
is he literally
You
foaming
tripping,
at
dog.
the mouth about a decision that isn't his to make, about someone else's child? Not only that, is he really saying like the child isn't ready to make that kind of decision or any kind of decisions at that specific age? Because when he was talking about his child, it sounded a little bit like this.
The was on here, and what? He's allowed to see pussy, fuck pussy, eat pussy, all that. He's 16 years old. He trained to fuck pussy, eat pussy, all that. Yeah. So don't get to talking about my son.
Yeah, so don't talk about his son, but he can go ahead and talk about other people's kids. And in the upcoming clip, his mother had an issue with this, with him actually speaking on Dwayne Wade's child, which I agree with. She should step in, but I am very much interested in her take on him getting her grandchildren's dicks sucked. Is this like a rite of passage for them, or is this something for the culture?
Because that is a child. Parental guidance. That's all I was saying. That. Now my mama got mad at me. My mama cursed me out. I don't care. That's his child. You should have shut up. My mama dogged me out, man. I said, man, I should have shut the up. But I thought about it. My mama hollered at me 1,000,000 times, and it was 1,000,001. I said, and I meant what I said. My mama chewed my ass out, though. She don't play about me talking about no churn, man. She took it the wrong way, though, bro. My mama took it the wrong way. The totally wrong way, mama. My mama took it the whole wrong way. Mama got mad at me for a whole week about that. I said, man, that's...
Calling him by a woman name, that's what they do in penitentiary. If anybody have been to the state pen, in the state pen, if you a man, but you gay, you be called by like he's doing his job.
Huh? Just pause and take that in for a quick moment.
That's how they do in the state pen. If you gay, they give you a woman child name. You're not allowed to stand up when you pee. I don't know if but you're not allowed to stand up when you...
So clearly we see here that the prison system has messed this man up, and clearly a lot of other young black men. He is out in civilization, but he is still thinking as a prisoner. He's still thinking as someone who is incarcerated and going based off of the lifestyle and based off of the norms in the prison system. This made me dig a little bit deeper into his stay in prison and his experience. And this next clip is going to say everything that needs to be said about this man.
Miles in Angola, I walked down on a nigga riding a nigga dick from the back. That nigga had a nigga ankles riding that bitch from the back.
So what man gives a description like this when they walk in and find two men having sex? Or he riding the dick from the back, and he was very descriptive. And ladies, this is one indication of a man that's curious. Because when you're descriptive about something, it actually piqued your interest. So you didn't just walk in, but you took enough time to see the positions, and the way you're speaking on it is as if you're into it.
I ain't know about the cocaine in the shower, you heard? Nigga ain't even tell me. I walked straight in 6 in the morning. Nigga riding that dick.
Oh, really? And what else? Go ahead. Now pay attention to this. What about this should fuck his head up? If you walk in on two people doing something or having sex, your immediate reaction would be to turn around. Maybe you might apologize, maybe you might just, say my bad, and you turn around. However, he gives a distinct description of what he was seeing, and then he says it fucked his head up. What actually fucked his head up was the point that he was, or the fact that I should say, he was into what he was seeing. He couldn't believe two men were fucking like this, and it piqued his interest to the point that, as he explains, the man fucking had to be like, hey, hey. And then he had to be like, well, my bad, which means you were already caught in what you were watching. And then he had to be like, just give me some space or backup or whatever. And then you left. And if you're as bad and as crazy and you can't stand gay people the way you say, and it fucked you up like that, why didn't you do something about it? Why didn't you check them? Why didn't you stop them? See, you didn't stop them because when you're in jail, you don't meet the stereotypical gay or the stereotypical men having sex. Sissies, punks, broken wrists, swaying, hair bundles, nails. You're gonna see two grown fucking men in jail just like you who decide we want to fuck. And if you step up and say anything out of the line, then that's your ass. So at this point, he was helpless, and I really feel like this played on him. Pause. Or really no? Find it funny that these niggas are sick and nasty motherfuckers according to you, but when you walked in there, you failed to tell them that they're nasty motherfuckers. No, if you were that disgusted by what you saw, you should have let them know the same time. So, because they fuck each other, suddenly they're not gangsters. They're punks. But if they were punks, you should have checked them since you're the gangster. So I don't understand what exactly he's saying. And then listen to the terminology. Listen to the passion in his voice. Or these niggas will fuck the shit out of you. He's actually feeling this. This is what he's feeling. No one who isn't curious or tickled by this would speak in this particular manner. People need to wake up. This is a butch queen. This is someone who's curious, who saw something and is now fighting with the fact that he was very much intrigued. And that's really what it is that he is battling with. And the fact of the matter is, these men didn't give a shit. They did what they needed to do. He was mad because he couldn't do this. And it was in plain sight. And that's what fucked him up. So basically, just to sum this all up, Boosie is sick because he is battling inner fucking demons, and that's just what it is. Sometimes a lot of cases with these quote unquote straight men who are curious, they battle with the fact that they are intrigued or curious or turned on by something that they shouldn't be turned on by. So when he avoids two men kissing or anything gay, it's because it tugs at him. So when he constantly sees it in his face, it's irritating to him because he knows that it low-key turns him on. It is something that piques his interest. That's why he is constantly speaking on it. Why else would he be speaking on it? It's not a case where gay men are jumping over, you know, gates and bridges to get to Lil Boosie. Lil Boosie is ugly. That's just the truth of the fucking matter. He is not good looking, and no one is really trying to get at him like that. But he is very much traumatized by what he saw only because it piqued his interest. He went in there, he saw it firsthand, and it tickled him. No, he's not the type that wants to marry, settle down, be in a relationship, anything like that when it comes to men. However, the sexual aspect of it all turns him on just by what he saw. And going back to earlier what we discussed, he's very much a perv for the way that he speaks on juveniles, not only getting his kids molested, but the fact that he refers to these little girls as, you know, fine ass little girls, and he's really living vicariously through his kids. This is a sick man who needs help, and he's the type of man that would try something with a gay man one day, but because he can't live with it, would then turn around and kill him. If you have no idea what a predator, or not only a predator, but what a down low man looks like, or a man who's curious looks like, then look at Lil Boosie. And he over-sexualizes everything because he's ugly. That's his get-up. In school, who wanted Boosie? Nobody. So he used the fact that he could talk and he's slick and witty and sometimes funny to gain people. But when you actually listen to the stuff he says and you listen to him telling that story of being incarcerated, you could see how much that played on his mind. You could see how descriptive he was with the actions as though it just happened. So yeah, go ahead and watch it again because your man might just be a little Boosie. Anyway, this video is done. You already know what to do. If you like it, like it. If you don't. Subscribe, share it, pass it around, and I'll see you with the next video. Also, I will leave a trivia just to make Lil Boosie feel good. I would put him up against two other people that's in his beauty bracket, and you can go ahead and pick which one you would be interested in. Please pick Boosie because that would help him out with his self-esteem. Bye.